was a man, if I know a baby wasn't mine, I'll be the first one up there to take a DNA test.
Point blank,
you was so ghetto. You so ghetto and so
messy. This ain't got nothing to do with you. I didn't sleep with you.
I got the year and the date mixed up, okay? Why does your brother know my son's birthday if that's not his baby? Why'd he sign my birth certificate and give him the middle name if it's not his baby?
After he signed it? Men, if they sperm with what they do,
lady.
You all saying the same thing, blaming the opposite child. They had a plan. Destiny was gonna say, I'm going over to visit my friend.
Right.
But really the whole time, she having
son.
sex with your son.
The courtroom drama kicks off with a bang. The gavel slams, and the judge calls the room to order, signaling the start of a high-stakes case, Sutton versus Smith. Introductions fly around as the room buzzes with anticipation, setting a serious, yet slightly nervous tone for the proceedings. The truth is just itching to jump out as the testimonies gear up to begin.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This case is Sutton v. Smith.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Miss Sutton, you say you believed you were in an exclusive relationship with Mr. Smith until you got pregnant and discovered he was living a double life. You say the defendant has denied your daughter, Haley, and you are in court to prove he is your child's father.
The allegations hit the floor like a dramatic thunderclap, setting the stage for what promises to be an explosive session. Ms. Sutton steps up, her resolve steelier than a frying pan, claiming Mr. Smith has been juggling lives and outright denies fathering her daughter, Haley. She's all in, poker-faced, and determined to expose his paternity in court. The atmosphere crackles with tension. This is clearly more than just a minor dispute. Just when you think it's maxed out on intensity, it ramps up even more.
Mr. Smith, you and your mother say Miss Sutton is a pathological liar whose list of sexual partners extends well beyond just you. You admit to having 2 sexual encounters but say your relationship was anything but exclusive.
The plot thickens with a twist juicier than a season finale cliffhanger. Ms. Sutton drops a social media bombshell, the kind that makes everyone's smartphone buzz. She recounts how she found out about Mr. Smith's double life when another lady, thanks to a pregnancy announcement tag, spills the beans about her own romance with him on Instagram. The courtroom's reaction is a mix of dropped jaws and wide eyes. Hold on, because this roller coaster of drama is just picking up speed.
By my understanding, when she was pregnant with their daughter, he said he wasn't with her. He said he would just want to be there for the baby, and that was it. Then all of a sudden, when I get pregnant, he's with her.
So is that true, Mr. Smith?
No, ma'am, that is not true.
What is your side of the story?
Tensions skyrocket as fidelity becomes the million-dollar question. Mr. Smith throws back accusations like a boomerang, hinting Ms. Sutton wasn't exactly the poster child for monogamy. Ms. Sutton fires back, passionate and fierce, asserting that Kaylee could be Mr. Smith's twin, especially if you look at their foreheads. The exchange gets fiery, really cooking with gas now, as personal digs fly left and right. The emotional stakes are sky high and climbing.
So you knew for a fact she was sleeping with other people?
Yes, yes.
Were you, Miss Sutton?
No, you've been denying my baby from day one. When she looked just like you, ain't nobody in my family got no big forehead like that. That baby look just like you. Even your partners on the street on Fabric say that she look just like you.
Emotions explode like a volcano. Ms. Sutton shares the struggles of her pregnancy, painting a picture of her solo journey with only her mom as her sidekick. The weight of her story hangs heavy in the air, palpable and poignant. What's coming next? Grab your tissues. It's a real heart tugger.
She tried to give me a free DNA test. Hey, you tried to give me a free DNA test?
Child support. He did not show up twice for a DNA test. So what that's saying about you? I was a man, if I know a baby wasn't mine, I'll be the first one up there to take a DNA test. Point blank,
you was so ghetto. You so ghetto and so
this
messy.
ain't got nothing to do with you. I didn't sleep with you.
Messy like
No,
that,
because this is between me and you. I don't have my mother standing here because my mama ain't got nothing to do with it.
Family drama adds a spicy twist. The Smith clan wades in, slinging mud about Ms. Sutton's allegedly questionable liaisons with other family members. The verbal sparring intensifies, unearthing a tangled mess of accusations and family feuds. The judge has his work cut out for him, trying to herd these emotional cats. Brace for more fireworks in the next round of exchanges.
She has slept with one of my family members, both of her baby daddies, and when I was staying with Miss Sutton, I came home and caught her in bed with one of them.
And at the same house she said they're supposed to be mine.
Hold on. Just recently, she just stopped fooling with one of my family members' husband.
Okay, but the lease is in my name, isn't it right?
Miss Collie?
If I can have somebody on there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I pay that rent.
Inside their stormy relationship, truths start surfacing. Mr. Smith recounts his on and off appearances in Ms. Sutton's life, crediting his jail stints and her financial aid during those times. His admission unveils the undercurrents of manipulation and obligation that have colored their interactions. Buckle up, the emotional roller coaster dives into another loop.
We wasn't never in no boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. Yes, we did have a sexual intercourse with each other. Every time I done went to jail, yes, I done called LaQuay. She think that she feel like I'm obligated to stay with her cause what she done for me behind the wall. Come on, just cause you don't spend that money, that's on you.
I just don't want you to start a sentence with every time I go to jail.
Cause he don't went your honor.
Heartache and exasperation spill over. Ms. Sutton lays bare her sorrow, witnessing Mr. Smith playing Dad of the Year to his other kids while ignoring their daughter. Her testimony cuts deep, echoing throughout the room and striking chords with the audience. The narrative builds towards a crescendo with the much-anticipated DNA results on the horizon.
Because she's screaming at the top of her lungs, trying to be heard, and I want her to know I'm listening.
Does for all his other kids, but don't do for mine.
That's what I want to know.
He does for all his other children, don't do for mine. You know how hurtful that is. On social media and Facebook, his other baby mama tagging me of him holding his daughter and don't even want to take a picture with mine. As a mother, that hurt.
A bittersweet resolution unfolds. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith, you are the father.
Oh, thank you after 3 years.
Everyone, park your butts. With a cheeky grin, Judge Lake welcomes all the courtroom warriors to the show. Strap in, folks, because things are about to get juicier than a reality TV marathon.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Mask Muriel versus Redmond.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Muriel, you and your sister have petitioned the court to order a DNA test to prove that you are not the father of the defendant's 18-month-old son, Zadrian. You have always believed you are not the father and are hoping the court grants you the test so you can prove your cases.
Buckle up, buttercups, because Mr. Muriel just dropped a DNA test bombshell. He's here with his sister, petitioning for a test to prove he's not the daddy of little Zadrian, an 18-month-old bundle of chaos he swears isn't his. The court's drama meter is about to break.
Did you believe the child was yours at the time?
No.
You did not?
No.
And so, okay, so you got opportunity and it was time to sign the birth certificate. You went and did it, why?
Because I felt very pressured. Like, everybody's sitting there looking at me as far as, like, her
But
family.
his mom was there telling him the baby looked just like you. Ain't no denying this baby.
Was your mother present at the birth, Mr. Muriel?
No.
Now watch as Judge Lake turns into a detective, piecing together the love puzzle with a timeline sharper than a double-edged sword. They're doing conception math in court to figure out if Mr. Muriel could be the father. Spoiler alert, it's about to get weirder.
Let's try to figure out the actual date of conception. Zadrian's date of birth is what?
September 16th. I got the year and the date mixed up, okay?
Yeah,
Why does your
it's
brother know
okay.
my son's birthday if that's not his baby? Why'd he sign my birth certificate and give
But
him
why
the
is
middle
he
name
still
if it's not his
questioning
baby?
after he signed it? Men, if they sperm with what they
Okay,
believe,
a lady was
here.
a lady.
You can cut the anticipation with a knife, or maybe a spork for dramatic flair. Judge Lake decides it's time to bring science into the mix, ordering a DNA test to slice through the drama. Everyone's on the edge of their seats, and if you listen closely, you can hear the popcorn munching.
Before I give my judgment as to whether or not the evidence to order a paternity test, I want to hear more facts that relate to the doubt in this case.
She got caught with a whole nother dude. Pull up to one of my boys' house. I leave there. I see her vehicle in a neighborhood she's never in. I pulled my car back to wait. Basically, I watched. I sat and watched whose house she was about to come out with. I don't know whose house this is, and I'm trying to figure it out.
And she wasn't answering the phone.
And she wasn't answering the phone or text messages.
The courtroom is as silent as a mime convention as they wait for the DNA results. The tension could be sliced with a plastic butter knife. The judge gives the floor one last time for dramatic speeches before the big reveal. You'll want to record this for your grandkids.
In our last court session, I found that there was sufficient evidence to warrant me ordering a paternity test. Since that time, you have submitted to DNA testing, and I have those results here for you today.
Boom, the DNA results are in.
Has been determined by this court. Mr. Muriel, you are the father.
The episode starts with a bustling courtroom as attendees are prompted to grab their seats. There's a friendly exchange of hellos and howdy-yous between the judge and the crowd. The case on deck is Smith v. Manning, featuring Ms. Smith, who's thrown into a whirlwind of doubt about the paternity of her granddaughter, Nala. Mrs. Smith's son, Nafi, was claimed to be the father by Ms. Manning, but he had passed away before Nala's birth. Buckle up, because this drama escalates faster than a popcorn kernel in a hot pan.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This case is Smith v. Manning.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. Ms. Smith, you and your daughter say 6 weeks after your son, Nafi, was killed, the defendant popped up and claimed she was pregnant with his baby.
What follows is a roller coaster of emotions. As we dive into a family's heart-wrenching saga, Ms. Smith lays it all out about the bombshell news of her son possibly being a dad, which popped up only after he was gone. She recounts how her daughter got the scoop from Ms. Manning about the unexpected pregnancy. Despite swirling doubts, Ms. Smith, fueled by a mix of duty and a flicker of hope, sought out the truth, hoping her son might have left a piece of himself behind. Strap in as we delve into the emotional whirlwind post-Nafi's demise.
Your daughter is concerned the defendant is using you for money and says the DNA will prove the baby is not your granddaughter. Ms. Manning, you state Nafi Smith is 100% your daughter's father and say today's results will prove your case and clear your name.
Hold on to your hats because this next revelation is a jaw-dropper. The judge and Ms. Smith delve into the tragic twist of fate that led to Nafi's untimely death. He was just out to snag some soda and ended up shot. This crushing event has Ms. Smith wrestling with guilt, blaming herself for having sent him out that fateful evening. Her recount of the event is a deep dive into her ocean of grief and guilt. The emotional intensity of this case is just starting to bubble up.
How did you find out your son might be the father?
I found out from my daughter. We were going out and she told me that Miss Manning called her and told her that she was possibly pregnant with my son's child. And then I contacted Miss Manning to meet with her so that I can talk to her. I've seen Miss Manning in the past, with my son, but when I asked him about it, he said that she was just his friend.
The courtroom atmosphere is electric as Ms. Manning stands her ground. Ms. Manning passionately defends her claim, insisting that Nafi was indeed the father of her child, and she's visibly shaken by the doubts cast on her daughter's paternity. She recalls how she broke the news to Mrs. Smith soon after discovering she was 6 weeks along. The court hangs on every word as Miss Manning details the initial shockwaves and conversations that followed the pregnancy news. Stay tuned as the family dynamics continue to unravel.
And I'm very sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
May I ask what happened?
On November 8th, 2013, we were watching football. It was a Thursday, ordered pizza, got everything except for the soda. I'll go to the store. I was like, it's okay, I don't really need it. And he was like, no, I'll go. And then my daughter got a call that someone said that he had been shot at the corner.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
And then we rushed to the hospital and he died at the hospital.
As the emotional roller coaster climbs, witness a family tangled in a web of uncertainty. Ms. Manning and Ms. Smith recount their first few interactions post-pregnancy bombshell. Mrs. Smith shares how she stepped up to attend prenatal appointments with Ms. Manning, showing her commitment to her son's potential offspring, despite her overwhelming grief. This segment paints a vivid picture of the complex emotions and actions spurred by the slim hope of a connection to her late son. What unfolds next might just flip the script.
Did you receive this news?
It was early in the pregnancy because I actually went to her with her and her family to the first appointment.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
So it felt like this was true?
It's a possibility. Live my life on regrets. I wanted to make sure that I was there because I was still grieving the death of my son.
Absolutely.
So any glimmer of hope that a child possibly was his child, I wanted to make sure I was there for that person.
You won't believe how tensions skyrocket in the courtroom. Sparks fly as Mrs. Smith's daughter, Nalea, voices her stark skepticism about Ms. Manning's claims, fueled by past fibs and Ms. Manning's sketchy history with men, including her brother. Nalea's protective instincts and doubts are palpable, underscoring the family's strife and mistrust. Brace yourself. The next testimony could be a total game changer.
I found out I was 6 weeks pregnant when I was in Job Corps, and as soon as I found out, I called Mrs. Smith to let her know. Then I called my mother.
And once you called Miss Smith, did she receive the news well?
The response I had got was, Mr. Caesar is pregnant as well. And my response was, oh, okay.
Mrs. Caesar was another woman he was dating?
Yes.
The plot thickens as the court is hit with bombshell testimonies. Another woman, Mrs. Caesar, who also had ties with Nafi and shares a child with him, steps into the fray. This revelation adds layers to the story, revealing Nafi's tangled web of relationships and offspring. The courtroom is abuzz with whispers and gasps as this complicated picture of Nafi's love life comes into clearer focus. Keep your eyes peeled. The surprises aren't over yet.
Called me and said, well, it's a possibility that I'm pregnant by your brother. And I asked her, I said, are you sure? Because my brother never mentioned anything about her being pregnant. He only mentioned about Miss Caesar. I had doubts. This is not her first time. She also lied and said she was pregnant before. I would say I'm the one that has the strong doubt that this is his child.
The atmosphere is charged with anticipation as the court awaits the DNA results. The paternity puzzle has everyone on the edge of their seats, with both parties desperate for some clarity. For Ms. Smith, the stakes are sky high as Nala represents a potential link to her dearly departed son. The upcoming DNA results promise to drop jaws and maybe even break hearts.
There still is a possibility that it could be here. And my intentions is not to hurt Miss Manning. I just need Miss Manning to know.
Me and my brother, we had a strong bond. So he told me everything. Some things he couldn't tell my mother, but he told me. And I really feel like Miss Manning is like taking advantage of my mother, just based on, I feel like my mother was vulnerable. I felt like my mother was hurt.
The climax approaches with everyone holding their breath. The episode reaches its peak when the DNA test results are revealed.
This court has determined Miss Smith is not related to Nala Manning Smith.
Then who could it be then? Because I was the only guy I was dealing with. Then who could it be? Can I leave?
Just take a deep breath.
The episode blasts off with the court officer rallying everyone. Take your seats, folks. This circus is about to start. You won't believe the roller coaster ahead.
You may be seated.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Sism v. Riley and Taylor.
Thank you, Ron. Good day, everyone. What stands before me is a case of babies having babies, teenager. This is upsetting.
From the get-go, the vibe is intense. Judge Lake, with all the solemnity of a seasoned soap opera star, kicks things off with the case of Sism v. Riley and Taylor and describes it as babies having babies. Yep, it's teen drama meets courtroom saga. Buckle up, because the drama is just heating up.
Miss Sism, you and your teenage daughter, Destiny, are here to prove that Anthony Taylor is the father of your daughter's 8-year-old son, Osiris. Ms. Riley, you stand before me claiming that you are 100% positive your son is not the child's father and have insisted on a DNA test from the moment heard Miss Sism was pregnant.
Emotions hit the roof right from the start. The plaintiff, Ms. Sism, storms into the scene, determined to prove that Anthony Taylor is the baby daddy of her daughter, Destiny's 8-month-old son, Osiris. It's all about securing that paternity declaration for little Osiris's future. Strap in, the emotional roller coaster is just leaving the station.
I lost my dad when I was 2. I know what it's like not to have a father. But I'm not here because of me. I'm not here because of Destiny. I'm here because of Osiris.
Destiny, you truly believe Anthony is this child's father?
Yes, sir.
You've changed the course of your life by having this.
Yes, sir.
The courtroom's emotional thermostat hits a new high. Marilyn, a relative loaded with empathy, chimes in about her own dadless childhood, stressing the crucial need for a father figure for Osiris. The suspense is building, and you just know something big is about to drop.
When I would call Destiny on her cell phone, she'll say she's at her friend's house. So that's what I was believing.
She was sneaking at my house. She was coming over here lying, conniving, saying, I have a 14-year-old daughter at home. Sneaking over there, hollering about she was coming over there to see my daughter.
As the temperature in the room spikes, the verbal sparring begins. Accusations fly like pies in a food fight, painting a vivid picture of a family at war over paternity and pride. Chaos reigns until the judge steps in.
That's a lie, Your Honor.
My son was going to school. How are you going to tell me what's a lie?
Because Your Honor, having sex in her house,
didn't even care where your daughter
what
was
type of parent is she? If she gonna tell them,
Hold on. Let's get some order, ladies.
Judge Lake tries to steer the ship through stormy waters. Amidst the bickering, she's the voice of reason, trying to keep the peace and focus on what's best for the child. You won't believe the bombshell about to be dropped.
You all saying the same thing, blaming the opposite child. They had a plan. Destiny was gonna say, I'm going over to visit my friend.
Right.
But really the whole time,
She
having sex with your son. The reason why we're here is to get down to the bottom of if this child is really your grandchild. Because I know you want to know that.
Boom, secrets explode with Destiny admitting to those secretive sleepovers at Anthony's, hinting at more than just movies. The courtroom's reaction, nuclear.
Where were you and Anthony having sex? In her house? While Miss Riley was home?
Yes, Your Honor. She knew I was there because I get off work. Anthony would be like, my mom said you can come over. And I say, okay. I would go over there. I would come in, say hi, Miss Brenda. She say hi. We go upstairs. I spend the night. She don't say nothing about it.
You spend the night at the house?
Yes, Your Honor.
In Anthony's bed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Plot twist. Destiny recalls the exact moment she found out she was pregnant and the intense chat with Anthony, who went from financially freaked to legacy leaver in a heartbeat. The drama intensifies from here.
I ended up throwing up. Anthony said, you should go to the hospital because I think you're pregnant. I went and they said I was pregnant. When I found out, I went to her house, and when I walked through the door and I had my papers, she said, let me guess, you're pregnant. I said, yes. At first, Anthony, he didn't want Osiris. He said, we should wait. And then he was washing dishes. He was like, we should just wait to have a baby because I'm not stable.
The tension could be cut with a knife as Anthony finally makes his grand entrance to drop some truths. His claim of paternity adds another layer to this already complex family lasagna. Grab your popcorn because his words are about to shake things up.
Please escort Anthony into the courtroom. I think I got it. Woo! Anthony, we have had a heated court session today concerning Osiris. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Do you believe you are Osiris's biological father?
Yes, I do.
Judge Lake isn't just there to pass judgment. She's dropping life lessons like hot mixed-a-piece. She schools Destiny on personal responsibility and the risks of putting love over future prospects. The courtroom's response to the imminent DNA reveal, electric.
We're here now. Osiris is here now. You all are kids. You all know what the world you're doing. The rationale is so irrational, it's scary. I get the reason, but the immaturity and the lack understanding in which you approach this entire situation. We gotta do better.
The verdict drops. Anthony is.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Taylor, you are his father.
Now! I want to see him now! Now I told you! Taking care of him.
I got another.